The newest release in Dragon Ball Legends is Legends Limited Goku Youth from Dragon Ball OG, which should also be the last release for Dragon Ball Saga. Let me know in the comment section how many Chrono Crystals you've got down below. You want to know whether you should summon, and I'm gonna tell you straight away, I don't think most people should be summoning, but you still should listen to everything I have to say because his kit might actually interest you. Seriously. But we're gonna go through the typical, so the things you should consider before summoning, the kit breakdown, whether I think you should summon, and of course whether I'm going to be summoning, which I'll also tell you straight away I'm not going to be summoning. Let's get into this video. So before you consider anything, here are some things that you should bear in mind before summoning. But the 7th anniversary is coming up very soon. It should be within a month, end of May, and I'm predicting May 23rd, but again, take that as unconfirmed information. On top of that, you need to consider your Chrono Crystals. You might be an OG Dragon Ball fan, but you're probably going to be a fan of what drops in the anniversary as well. So if you don't have a lot of Chrono Crystals, summoning for this guy will put you in the hole for the anniversary. And let's say you've been summoning for things that have dropped recently. So for example, the Dragon Ball Diamond campaign, if you use your Chrono Crystals there, you probably don't have a lot of Chrono Crystals right now. And if you use the Chrono Crystals you have left, you're probably not going to get the unit anyways, then you just be in another hole for the anniversary as well. You go on a streak of just not getting anything. I will also point out that if you are interested in this unit, do not summon straight away at least. You could definitely just wait and see how he unfolds in the meta. People will use him. If he doesn't have a standing, you won't see him around. If he does, you will see him around in standard and proud. But I will also say, if you want a specific opinion on this character here, go ahead and watch showcases. There will be content creators, not me, that will summon regardless and get the unit, and then they will showcase the unit and give their opinion on what the unit can do. And I suggest you don't just watch the typical people you watch someone new, watch a channel you wouldn't typically watch, so you can get differing opinions, because different people have different accounts, which will give you a more wider perspective on what this unit can do. You could also just wait a while. This banner will probably be here up until the anniversary, if not into it. So if you're interested in this character, you still don't have to summon straight away. You could wait until the anniversary or right before to make your decision. And maybe the recency bias of you liking this character, if you're one of those people, would have worn off and you can make a more sound decision. Let's get into the kit breakdown now. So let's start here with Legends Limited Goku Youth's abilities. Here's his kit. Let's get into the main things you want to know. His element, he's yellow. Character tags here: Son family, Saiyans, kids, DB, and weapon wielder. Keep your eye on weapon wielder. They've been getting a couple buffs here and there. They might be the underdog of the year. Considering it's a new tag, I imagine they're gonna drop weapon builders. Maybe we might get a Trunks down the line, I don't know. Maybe a Gohan actually from the Buu saga. Anyways, the episode is Dragon Ball Saga, and now we're going into the Z ability. The main thing you want to watch from is Z ability 2 and downwards. You're gonna be getting base strike attack and base strike defense, and the tags DB, Saiyan, and weapon builder. Those are the main things he's going to be buffing. Otherwise, you might want to consider having him on the leader slot. And then we can see down here below, it's just going up, up, up. And it says, if you're tag DB, you also get base blast defense, which is good to consider. And it says here, if tag DB, Saiyan, or weapon builder, this is again, and then it goes up on the Z ability 4. So this was the 3-bit, then the 4-bit, 15%, then it's to the 18%. All right, cool. So we got the strike attack here. He has blast armor, which is nice. And he's also going to decrease cost every time he presses one. The blast does nothing. The blue card here, on the first blue card, he's gonna have a guaranteed 30%. On top of the 30% he gets in addition every single time, but this first 30% only happens once. So the first one is going to be 60%, then every blue card after that will only be 30. You also get a card from pressing the blue card. If you hit the blue card, sub count on switch -5 to the own character, so this applies to the Goku, which is nice. Going down here, the green card, you draw one card, you get HP, key, but the most important thing, the vanishing gauge and cover no. The vanishing gauge 100% 3 times can be very, very valuable. Then here, the cover no is just nice, 5 timer counts, but this is also low-key a sleeper. Your key gets protected, so for the next 5 timer counts, your key can't get decreased. Having it just be a regular green card as well is very consistent, very easy to use. We have the ultimate arts here. The ultimate arts, he gets 50% damage and ultimate damage inflicted, nullifies endurance for 3 timer counts, but in most cases it will be cancelled, but just bear that in mind that it's there, you know. Here, also if there's a defeated battle member, he'll get extra ultimate damage. So as long as one person is dead, he's going to get 30% ultimate damage in addition. So this becomes 80. And then he will also destroy the enemy's hand if it hits. And it has blast armor, just to note. Now we've got the main ability, draws the ultimate arts, gets HP, key, and then cancels attribute downgrades of normal conditions. So all those debuffs will go away. And all enemy strike and blast will go up and special moves will go up 20, so it's going to be expensive. So even if you pop the main ability in a way where you don't like it, you will still get some benefits because the enemy will be hindered because their cards will cost more, and that lasts for 10 time accounts. Now we've got the starter ability, which is kind of just replacing unique ability 1, but the main bit at the top where you just get the stats, you know, they put more damage inflicted and stuff like that. So we've got the unique gauge that starts at 30%, and just so you guys know, he has an attack gauge, but it has a little twist to it, which I'll get to later. The damage is 270, and you can see the numbers are going up here because they're trying not to inflate people's kits with a lot of writing. So 270 on the damage guard's 150. I believe Demon King Piccolo had 130. Key recovery here, there's draw speed, and the cost for himself are -5. When there's at least one other tag Dragon Ball ally battle member, so it's basically forcing you to run them on Dragon Ball, not completely, but you know, it helps out. You get extra damage and extra damage guard, so you'll be able to tank better and do more damage, and all of this is uncancelable. So as long as you have them on Dragon Ball Saga, you'll get this additionally, or at least one other. You don't even need to run the whole team, but then all of these are obviously uncancelable. Now here's where we got the unique ability. Yes, you saw that correct. He has indestructible, which is nice. On the battlefield entry, he gets a card, which is nice. Health, which is actually nice. Key, card and key are like the main two things you're looking for. Cover note is also a big thing, so if you can get that on entry, that's superb. Dragon Ball +1, which is only one time, but that's nice. And the enemy draw speed goes down, so he basically stops them from comboing longer once he switches in, which is obviously nice. On strike and blast starts use, so once he presses 1, if there's a battle member defeated, so an ally of yours is dead, he's gonna get key every time he presses a card, strike or blast. He's also gonna get damage inflicted every time he presses strike or blast, and he's also gonna get draw speed, which becomes uncancelable. It happens one time. I understand why they need to write that, because multiple allies can die, but once one is dead, like, this starts activating, you know. When on the battlefield and an enemy uses a special move ultimate on awakened arts, he's gonna get HP off that. He's gonna increase their cost by 10. That cost increase is gonna be very, very annoying. Enemy special move and ultimate awakened arts power is gonna go down. Ally enemy sub count will go up. So he's hindering them a lot in ways that are happening behind the scenes. It's not things that you'd really consider, but it's things that will affect you, and once you need to deal with them, that's when you really realize, oh, this is a pain. The card arts are a big one, and on top of that, having the switch out problem, it's annoying when you need to. When hit with an enemy art, he's gonna get damage plus 30%, so he's gonna be stacking that, which is nice. And key will go down, the enemy key, they lose key, so that's nice. I believe this will happen one time, and its activations reset on switch, so it's every time they get hit for the first time, which is nice. Here, when health is reduced to 0 by the enemy attack, so here's where the indestructible comes out. He's obviously gonna activate the indestructible, and then he's gonna charge his unique gauge 100%. The rate is 100%, so the next card he presses will fill his gauge basically, which is nice. Cancel attribute downgrades abnormal conditions, which is nice. Nullify attribute downgrades abnormal conditions, which is nice. He's also going to destroy the entire enemy hand, which is obviously useful. When the indestructible pops, that should just be standard, and enemy key will also go down, so he's going to break their combo a tiny bit. And then once the indestructible is over, so the freeze on the life bar is done, he's going to heal 50%, and he's going to go type neutral completely for 10 time accounts. Here he has a strike cover change. He can combo that into his blue card, and here's the attack tag gauge that I spoke about. Now what's interesting about it is you press cards to fill the gauge, and once the gauge fills, you will draw 2 cards if he has 3 or fewer. It's kind of annoying that that's the case, because it can pretty much only fill once. Not literally, and why I say that is because the twist is, once the indestructible gets popped, you will be able to fill it again. So once the indestructible gets popped here, it will consume when the indestructible activates. You will then empty your gauge, but then you can fill it again very easily. And the main thing here is that you get damage inflicted 40%. So once you fill it the first time, you get 40%, which is uncancelable, but then it will empty when the indestructible pops. So you can fill it again, then you'll get 80% in the scenario that you've popped your indestructible, you know. So there are benefits that come out of it. You get cover no as well. You can protect your hand now for 15 time accounts. You get key HP, you know, when the gauge fills. So depending on how you use this, technically when the indestructible pops, you can get 70% HP, because here it said you get where was it, 50% once the indestructible ends. But then if you fill that gauge immediately from pressing a card, you will get another 20%. So yeah, that's everything for his kit. I think the saving grace is indestructible, really and truly. That's actually a very big help. Overall, I think it's a good kit. Now we're gonna go into whether I think you should summon, and just like I said at the start of the video, I simply don't think it's worth it. I think you'd be better off just holding out. If you have nothing to use, you'd be better off just holding out another month. Let Daima control the game. Even if Dragon Ball OG is good and this Goku is good, there will most likely be a meta reset once the anniversary starts, and those things are going to take over. So unless you are a die-hard Dragon Ball fan, I don't even think this guy's kit is bad. I think the indestructible is going to make him a very nice layer for teams, but you do get extra buffs with him when you're running Dragon Ball Saga, one other character at least. But it's not really life changing, but it will make the difference in some cases. I just simply don't think that's enough, you know, to make me feel like, hey, I can still use this guy with another unit as long as I'm running one other Dragon Ball Saga unit. Even if I'm not, I can still get the use of his indestructible and whatnot. I don't think it's worth it overall. Even if I had a bunch of Chrono Crystals to spare, I wouldn't put them all into this guy. I just don't really think the timing does him justice. I think the timing is a big hindrance to whether this guy's value will be high or low. In most cases, just weigh it out. Let's say he's the best unit ever, hypothetically, right? You wait like 4 days and you will see that. Then you can make your decision. But I don't think he's going to be that. But I do think he's a very nice layer. Anybody with indestructible is a very nice layer to most teams, and that's going to have value nonetheless. But the anniversary will bring something that you probably want more, which is why I'm advising to skip. That's actually my main argument beyond his kit. I just really feel like his kit isn't doing anything to overcome the barrier, which is the 7th anniversary. I think I've been saying sick for a lot in this video. But yeah, and to end the video, am I summoning? No. Why am I not summoning? Because of the 7th anniversary, and I'm doing this free to play thing, which isn't easy. I'm saving my Chrono Crystals. It's as simple as that. There's no rocket science. I won't be touching this banner in the slightest. So yeah, that's all it is for me. Probably will be the same for you, but you guys be the judge for yourself. That's going to be the end of the video. I think it's a real shame how the devs decided to execute Dragon Ball OG. They really put them right after Dragon Ball Daima, the most recent Dragon Ball project. That's quite insane, especially knowing how good they made the Dragon Ball Daima units kits. This is absolutely disgusting work to put them right after the most hyped thing right now in Dragon Ball in general. But hey man, the guys who love this saga will summon regardless, but they could have got more love, and even the execution for the team is not looking great. But I would hope they get maybe one other unit later in the year just for the tag to be something. But hey, I'm not a diehard, so I'm not even gonna go all the way for them. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching the video, man. My name's ZAKASHI, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.